In our quiet suburban neighborhood, with its neatly trimmed lawns and hushed nights, life once felt like a safe bubble. Lisa and I built a home filled with laughter, our twins cooing in their cribs, our oldest toddling around. When I came home from work, Lisa's warm smile and playful complaints about diapers or dinner greeted me. Those early days were perfect, until they weren't. It took one choice, made without my input, to shatter our marriage, leaving only betrayal, rage, and a need for justice. It began last year when Lisa announced she'd become a surrogate for her twin sister, Sarah, and Sarah's husband, Kevin. They'd struggled with infertility, and Lisa, sharing Sarah's DNA, was the perfect candidate. The bombshell wasn't the surrogacy itself. It was that she'd already started the process behind my back, using our joint finances and forging my signature. We were on the couch, a late-night comedy show flickering, when she said, almost casually, "Grant, I've decided to do something." Alarm bells rang. Lisa's tone meant she'd made up her mind. "I'm going to be Sarah's surrogate," she said, eyes steady. I blinked, stunned. "You're carrying Kevin's child?" I asked, voice tight. She corrected me. It was Sarah and Kevin's embryo. She was just the carrier, but she'd discussed it with Kevin, not me, her husband. "When did you decide this?" I pressed. She admitted she'd already consulted the clinic, knowing I'd object. "It's my body," she said, defiant. "I'm doing this for Sarah." Anger coiled in my gut. "You blindsided me. This isn't just about your body. It's about our family." Her eyes flashed. "Sarah's family, too. If you love me, you'll support me." I laughed bitterly. "Respect isn't blindsiding your spouse. If you do this, it'll tear us apart." She stood, rigid. "Then maybe we're not as strong as I thought." The quiet house pressed down, heavy with her words. Everything had changed. The days that followed were tense. Lisa spoke openly about doctor's appointments and fertility meds, treating the surrogacy like a grocery list. I found a box from the clinic in our fridge, vials, syringes, instructions. "What's this?" I asked, voice sharp. "Hormone treatments," she replied, shrugging. "You didn't think to discuss this?" I snapped. She rolled her eyes. "We're past discussions. I'm moving forward." My chest burned. "You're pushing me away, and you don't care." She dismissed me. "Stop being melodramatic. It's 9 months. Then the baby goes to Sarah." I couldn't stomach it. "If you do this, I'm done," I warned. Her gaze was steely. "If your pride can't handle it, leave." That night, I decided if she forged this path alone, I'd file for divorce. I couldn't watch her carry another man's child under our roof. When Lisa learned I'd contacted a lawyer, she stormed into the living room where I was helping our oldest with homework. "How dare you?" she hissed, keeping her voice low. I guided her to the hallway. "I told you what would happen," I said. "You disregarded me." Tears of anger filled her eyes. "We can fix this if you accept it." I shook my head. "You used our money, forged my signature. There's no fixing this." She called me cold, but her betrayal had hardened me. Our state required a 1-year separation before finalizing a divorce, so we lived as strangers in the same house. Lisa took the guest room. I kept the master. The kids sensed the tension, asking why we no longer sat together at dinner. We faked civility, but the house was a pressure cooker. Sarah and Kevin's visits made it worse. One weekend, I found them in my living room, flipping through a baby catalog. Kevin rose awkwardly. "We're just planning," he said. Lisa rubbed her barely showing belly. "I need supplies here for comfort," I snapped. "Why not at your house, Kevin? This isn't your baby lounge." Sarah glared. "We're family, Grant. This shouldn't be about yours or mine." My anger flared. "It stopped being about family when you roped Lisa into this behind my back." Lisa stood indignant. "You can't ban them from my home." I turned on her. "You should have thought of that before sharing your pregnancy with them, not me." They left, Sarah shaking with anger, and Lisa accused me of alienating our kids' aunt and uncle. I shrugged. I'd rather alienate them than let my marriage be disrespected. As Lisa's pregnancy progressed, her complaints, morning sickness, backaches mounted. She expected my help. Crackers, pillows, foot rubs. I refused every time. "Let Kevin handle it," I'd say. She called me heartless, but I reminded her she'd shown no compassion when she ignored my pleas. One night, desperate, she begged me to rub her cramping legs. I shut the door in her face. Our oldest asked, "Dad, why don't you hug Mom anymore?" I swallowed the truth. Sometimes grown-ups don't get along, but I love you. The innocence in their eyes fueled my resentment toward Lisa, Sarah, and Kevin. Lisa's family piled on. Her mother called me selfish. Her father threatened I'd regret my stance. I smirked. I regret trusting your daughter." They hung up, furious. The worst came in Lisa's 7th month. She struggled with grocery bags, calling for help. "Ask Kevin," I said, unmoving. Tears fell as she wrestled the bags alone, bruising her arm. "You're punishing me," she spat. "You threw away our partnership," I replied. She stormed off, leaving a stifling silence. When Lisa went into labor unexpectedly in the 8th month, she pounded on my door, panicked. "My water broke. Please help." Sweat matted her hair, her face contorted in pain. For a moment, I remembered helping her through our kids' births, but bitterness won. "Call an ambulance," I said coldly. "Grant, please," she begged. "You can't let me suffer." I locked eyes with her. "Watch me." She sobbed, calling 911. Paramedics took her away as I returned to bed, guilt flickering but quickly smothered. Lisa and the baby, a premature but stable girl, stayed in the hospital for days. Sarah, recovering from her own health issues, and Kevin, stretched thin, couldn't take the baby immediately. Lisa brought her home, setting the car seat down wearily. "Sarah's still sick," she said. "They asked me to keep her for a few weeks." I scoffed. "You volunteered, didn't you? I'm not helping." She whispered, "Have you always been this cruel, or did I make you this way?" I replied, "You made this bed, Lisa. Lie in it." The baby's cries filled our nights. Lisa, exhausted, begged for help, a bottle, a break. I refused. "Call Kevin or your mother." Her family called me a monster, but I stood firm. My lawyer presented evidence of Lisa's deception, forged signatures, misused funds. The judge took a dim view of her actions. Lisa's lawyer painted me as cruel, but the fact that the baby wasn't mine weakened her case. At the final hearing, Lisa sat, frazzled, across from me. The judge ruled in my favor. Primary custody of our kids, no spousal support, and Lisa ordered to repay misused funds. Her face crumpled, tears falling. Kevin and Sarah looked stricken. Outside the courtroom, Lisa approached, eyes swollen. "I'm sorry, Grant. I never wanted this." I stared coldly. "You ignored me, lied, and broke us. Forgiveness isn't cheap." Sarah tried to intervene, but I cut her off. "You got your baby. Deal with the fallout." I walked away, the corridor brighter, the weight lifted. Lisa moved in with her mother, keeping the baby until Sarah recovered. During custody exchanges, she looked frail, regretful, asking about the kids. I kept my distance. Kevin and Sarah struggled with bills and the baby, offering Lisa little support. My kids thrived in our calm home. No more crying, no more warfare. Lisa emailed about her regrets, how the surrogacy created chaos. I replied only about the kids. One day, my oldest asked, "Dad, do you still love Mom?" I knelt beside them. "I care about her because she's your mom, but sometimes trust breaks." They nodded, returning to their Legos. A year later, I felt free. Stable job, custody, a peaceful home. People called me merciless, but Lisa's betrayal had consequences. She lost my support, our marriage, and her stability. My revenge wasn't violence. It was letting her face the reality of her choices alone. The judge agreed, and so did life. Cruelty was the price of my dignity, and I paid it gladly.